In this session, I'm going to be explaining to you how to get started with an evidence-based research. So I believe there will definitely be some questions that you might want to ask me.
Yeah.
Do you have any questions to ask?
Yes, I have a
All right,
question.
so what's your question?
So my question is, if you want to conduct a systematic review or research, how do you go about it?
Beautiful.
What
So
are the steps?
it takes 5 steps for you to publish a systematic review. And the first step now is to do what? Identify a problem. Okay, so immediately if you identify the problem, it means that you already 50% ready to have a systematic review started. And then the next thing you need to do is to do what? You need to develop a search strategy. So what this encompasses is that when you've identified the problem, you need to search in several databases to be sure that that particular evidence or that particular problem that you've identified is something that has not yet been done by another author. All right, so immediately you've developed a compelling search strategy which comprises of various search terms. The next thing you need to do is to do what? You need to select studies. All right, so what we usually do here is when we've identified the problem, we've searched relevant databases. Now we identify the studies that we are going to use in conducting this systematic review. And then when we get those studies, it could be 10, it could be 11, it could be 20 studies, it could be 300 studies, as many studies as possible. The next thing we need to do is to do what? We need to extract data and also perform what we call critical appraisal. So what this means is that you have now selected the studies. You now have to do what? Extract the relevant data from those studies that will be used in answering the research questions that you identified in your problem. And then you also perform what we call critical appraisal. Basically where you do what? You check for the quality of that particular evidence. And then the last thing you do is what? You do your synthesis. So this can be done through several methods. It can be done through a meta analysis, or it can be done through a narrative synthesis, or you can call it analysis. So we usually use the meta-analysis whenever we are synthesizing evidence from a quantitative study, maybe probably data that deals with statistics and all that. Whereas mathematics synthesis is highly qualitative, and narrative synthesis when there is heterogeneity. What do I mean by heterogeneity? The studies have different reports. Right? They have different scale of measuring outcomes. So we need to use a narrative synthesis to externalize it. Remember, what differs from a narrative synthesis and a thematic synthesis is that